What's going on, guys? It's about 8 o'clock on Tuesday, and I just wanted to check in with everybody because we're going through probably one of the most important aspects of being under contract to a deal, and that is your lease abstracts. It's great to see the OM, and a lot of brokers will put as much information as possible within the offering memorandums, but it's our job as the buyer to not only check that the information is accurate, but also see what information is not included in the OM. There's a lot of stuff you have to make sure that you're checking for in these leases. I mean, I'll give you an example right here. Here's one lease for one tenant, okay? It's 120 pages long with all kind of amendments and everything else. So it's a big document, and there's a lot of things you have to make sure that you're looking for. Co-tenancy clauses, right? How much of the percentage of the property needs to be occupied for them to pay their normal amount of rent? Do they have tenant restrictions? Different tenants that aren't allowed to come to the property because they compete with them, competing businesses. Any termination options? What do those look like? Expense recoveries, okay? You know that they're reimbursing for expenses, but what exactly are they reimbursing for? And do they have a cap of how much their reimbursements will go up to? So these are all things you have to keep in mind. It's all very important to make sure you're reading through these leases. I mean, we have 17 tenants at this property, so we're going to be reading through a lot of documents, going through a lot of information, but make sure you're doing your lease abstracts. Get the main information so that, next year, 5 years, 10 years from now, you have the main info from the lease. And this way you can always go back to your lease abstract and pull the information necessary, and you don't have to sort through, 120 documents like we're doing right now. So abstracting leases, being under contract on a retail property. You want to make money, this is where the money is made, right here in the dirty work, 8 o'clock at night on a Tuesday. So keep those things in mind. And if you have any questions, by all means, reach out to us. I'm happy to share, our lease abstracts with you. But just make sure you're paying extra close attention to these details because they can really hurt you in the long run if you overlook something.